The media is boiling right now as Akpabio is serious trouble based on the saga that is ongoing between Natasha AKPOTI and Akpabio, the Senate president. Lady came out a few hours ago and unveiled video of how she dressed well, cover all her body to the office, and moment she entered this office, after a lot of discussion based on a particular subject and all of that, she was hooked to the wall, and as she was hooked to the wall, he shook his mouth into her mouth. Look at what this man did. This baffles a lot of Nigeria. The witness have been flying everywhere in different media platforms. He shook his mouth into her mouth, and I said that is not enough. He sexually harassed this lady. Everywhere is boiling at the moment. Video is flying everywhere now, so I will play the full video. You will see pins the way it goes. So I would like guys to stay connected to the end of this video. If you can share the video, just want to share it. Share it with social media platforms. Let it go viral, and if you can share it, just like the video, like it, give it a thumb up, so that it will be recommended for us. Just stay connected. I'll come back again.
Welcome you back to LAJUPOG Watch TV.
I don't have bad news for you today.
The home of religious gossip.
But you should believe you find for Mohammed.
What is happening in the Christendom? Join now to make sense with LAJUPOG.
Hello my great and wonderful viewers, welcome you back to LAJUPOG Watch TV. For those of you coming across this channel for the very first time, for those of you that are new to this platform, just do what to click the registration button appearing on your video screen, and at the same time click the notification bell icon so that whenever we drop a new video in few hours time, YouTube will easily let you to know. Kasala is boiling right now as far as Akpabio and Natasha case is concerned. Natasha did not rest. This woman did not rest. She'll be going from one media platform to another, from one media house to another, granting interviews. But Akpabio have never granted any interview because this man said he's not going to say anything regarding all these things that Natasha have actually alleged him of. This is a very big issue. Even Natasha went to the UN. She went as far as UN. She went to BBC to report Akpabio, and Akpabio is trending in international space at the moment. The newspapers in the international space in different countries like US, they are now carrying the news of Akpabio. They said Akpabio is using his political power to suppress his fellow senator. Look at the kind of news that is out there now. I said that's not enough. Kasala boss years ago, they said Natasha did not have an evidence, but this woman said she have documented evidence that she piled up, that once the investigation started, that she's going to unveil all the evidence. But things have started coming out. She entered this man's office, and the moment she entered this man's office, after a lot of non-conversation, they discussing substantial issue, and at the end of the discussion, she wanted to be leaving. She always dressed well and dressed decently. She will even cover her head and all of that, and the moment she was about leaving, this man did as if he wanted to see her off and all of that, but this man hooked her on the wall and tried to kiss her, even to the extent that the man kissed her and shook his mouth into her mouth. You will see this for yourself. Everywhere is boiling. The media is boiling at the moment, so I would like guys to stay connected to the end of this video. If you can share the video, just do what to share it. Share it to the social media platforms. Let it go viral, and if you can share it, just like it, like the video, give it a thumb up, so that it will be recommended for us. A lady have come out before, and this lady came out to allege Akpabio. All these things are allegedly because they did not provide the concrete evidence. The woman made it known to the general public. She said Akpabio tried to harass her and assault her sexually and all of that, but the woman said she slapped Akpabio. This happened before Akpabio even become a Senate president at all. And after all these things happened, that was when Natasha came out again. And when Natasha came out, the same thing that the lady said was what Natasha said, but everything is still alleged because the concrete evidence that Natasha claimed that she have not been unveiled before now and all of that. But as if that's not enough, a lot of people have come up with different witnesses. They said Akpabio really did that, and that Natasha cannot just come up to frame up a kind of story that is not genuine, that she can't just frame Akpabio like that. But a lot of people are saying that how will Akpabio do that kind of thing? And why is Natasha not bringing out the evidence? But Natasha says she have buckle of evidence. But a lot of people are saying that if Natasha should have an evidence, why have she not provided it? But evidence is now flying on media. Everywhere is boiling right now. You will see things for yourself. Nobody ever expected it. Nobody see this coming. They never expected that this woman can actually come up with what she actually came up with few hours ago. So I'll play the full video now for you to see everything the way it goes. So you can share the video. Just do what to share it. If you can't share it, just like it. Stay connected. See things for yourself. I'll come back again.
We all know that in Nigeria, to get government-appointed jobs, contracts, you need to know people. I don't care what qualifications you have. I don't care how good you are at your job. You need to know the right kind of people. Now, I used to have a company before which did supply jobs. I and my friend, we owned this brand, and we were really trying very hard to make a name for ourselves. Now, did we have the connection? Hell yeah, we did. We had a great connection, like the people we knew, who. But you see, now with that connection still, you still have to go forward and meet the people, you know. So we were recommended to this particular institution. I don't want to mention what it was, but you would think that people in that establishment are more decent than we know. Now, we were recommended to go to this particular guy, you know. We spoke to him about our project and what we plan to do. So basically, it was to paint the whole establishment, which was a lot, and buy computers and furniture for the place, which I don't even want to say how much money would have made from that. We got to the understanding that, listen, he says he wants 20% of the deal. And we're like, you know what? It's a huge contract, so no problem, let's do it. And mind you, we'll still have to sort out the person who referred us there. But after everything was established, this man had the audacity to stand up and tap my ass because he says, now that's the second part of the project. I was like, excuse me, sir, I don't understand. You're already taking 20% from us. Like, this is not going to happen. And he's like, listen, honey, like, if you ain't doing it, somebody else is doing it. And to top it off, he didn't just want one of us. He wanted both of us. So tell me in that situation what a woman was supposed to do. And mind you, it wasn't even a time where you could say, oh, let me film, because guess what? As soon as you walked into the building, you were asked to leave your phones at the entrance, so you couldn't even tape it. So apart from the foul memory you get from that experience, how else are you supposed to give proof? Unfortunately, yes, in the world there are a lot of women who do come out and lay false accusations on people, but those percentages are very little. Tell me what I should have done in that situation. Situation number 2. I was also in real estate at one point, you know, before I built my studio. I wanted to have more funds, so I'm like, let me go into this business. Now, on this particular day, I met this guy. You know, he sounded very decent. He was as old as my father. You know, he's like, listen, I have a big name. You know, he actually did have a very big name in the real estate business in Lagos. And he's like, listen, if you can help me with my properties, you can put them on the market and you get a commission, blah, blah, blah. So as time went on, we discussed about it. And he said, listen, let's have an official meeting in my office. So I went to the location, dressed properly. I had my jacket on, long pants, everything covered, because I don't want to. I've been in situations like this too many times that I just want to avoid any drama. So decent is. Now on getting there, within the first 5 minutes of the conversation, this guy already strayed away from business. You know, he started asking me a lot of personal questions. You know, are you in a relationship? And in my head, I'm like, why are we talking about me being in a relationship? You know, he goes ahead asking a lot of very deep personal questions. And I already knew from that moment, listen, first of all, I won't, even if I get the job from you right now, I won't be able to work with you because your mind is already far gone. And what makes me even more angry is like, men in Nigeria forget about how much money they can profit off your back and focus on something so unimportant that it really baffles me. Anyway, after a little while longer, 20 minutes, I felt very uncomfortable with the line of questioning this man was putting. So I said, listen, I do have another meeting. I have to leave, blah, blah, blah. We'll keep in touch. This guy stands up and attempts to hug me, which, bro, you don't know me that well, so you shouldn't even be that close. So what I would normally do out of being uncomfortable is do a side hug. No, this mother effer turned around and planted one on my mouth. Like he had the audacity to kiss me and then shoved me into the wall. Now, I'm not going to lie, in that instance, I had so much fear in my heart because, first of all, his office was in the back. There was only a secretary way in front. Even if I screamed, nobody would have heard me. And just oh my God. See, I tried to push this man off. I tried very, very hard. Finally, eventually, I did get him off me. And he just kept talking about how beautiful I was and how he just needed to have some. See, I got myself out of there. The first thing I did was block that man's number. That was a dead deal. And I'm not gonna lie, I got home and I cried because I'm like, how much does somebody have to go through to deal just to provide for your family? Now, I kept receiving calls, no joke, for about 3 months. It was minimum of 7 calls a day to 28 calls a day. This man will call off different numbers. Remember, I blocked him, so he will call me off different numbers, saying how he really wants me, how he did it. Forget all the real estate. There was nothing about work. I threatened this man. I screamed at him. I blocked more numbers. More numbers kept calling me. The only time this guy backed off was when I threatened, because I started taping the conversations. I'm like, listen, I need to have proof, because if I ever have to report this guy, I need to have something. The only time this man backed off was when I threatened to expose him on social media, because he had the family, he had children, he had everything. You know, that was the only time he decided to back off. But why do I have to go through that? Senator Natasha is a very beautiful woman. I mean, the more I listen to her, like, she's gorgeous. I understand why some men will have the audacity to even approach her in such a manner. They don't care if you're married. If, like I said in my previous video, they don't care if you're married, if you're pregnant. They do not care. They want what they want when they want it, and you're supposed to deliver. I have lost so many jobs and great opportunities in my life because I refuse to fall for this. Because listen, if I would ever have to do anything with any man, it is because I want to, because I genuinely like you. There is no way in hell you're going to put pressure on me and feel like because you're going to put a couple of thousand in my account or millions, you think you are. And oh my God, my strong head is more than the money you want to give me. And then some people have the audacity to say women are emotional. Men, I am sorry, and this is another topic, men have always, from the beginning of time, known to be the most emotional people ever. But you know what? We will take that one too. Call us emotional. We're fine with that too. Some men would even justify in my comments, but even men are being harassed and everything. Yes, they are. Just like my other video, I said men are narcissists. Oh, but women too. Yes, they are. But we're talking about percentage right now. If a woman taps a man's ass, you have the chance to report it. You have the opportunity to do that. But because you guys have made yourselves heroes, you don't want to embarrass yourself by saying anything. And this is where I say the shame comes in. A lot of people say, oh, if a woman was raped, why didn't she report? Because somehow society will make you feel ashamed of being the victim. So no, in many situations, you might not have evidence, but I very, very much doubt that the woman with this prestigious reputation she has will go and make a false accusation on a man just for what? What would be the point for her to publicly embarrass herself that way? But you see the way God works? Sometimes you might need to fall before you rise. Because I'm telling you, this woman has become a movement. If she decides to vote to be president, I will vote for her. Because sometimes you have to fall to rise, and this is a perfect example of that. God will never let a good woman fall or a good man fall. This woman has, like, she has done things for her community. People genuinely just love her because of the actions she has taken. How many people now can tell me in our between our politicians that can come out with their full chest and walk through a crowd of people? My dear, she could. That woman is an iron woman, and if you cannot give her the respect, shut the fuck up on the internet.
Remember, in this very studio, I accused Akpabio of one of the people who come together to say that I was out of the Senate. Because when the 10th Senate, when I won election in the 10th Senate, I became like a de facto DG campaign to Senator Abdulaziz Yari. In this very place where we are in Toscop Hilton, Akpabio came to my hotel room around 2 a.m. and pleaded that I should work for him. And I told him that I will not work for you because I'm already committed to Senatorial, and these are my reasons. However, I wish you good luck. And he came, he said he's a Christian like me, I shall work for him to balance the Muslim ticket. And I told him, the testimonies I heard from the people of the 8th Senate wasn't a good one about you. And I told the vice president when the vice president called me to work for you, so I will not work for you. And one day they said there was a meeting in room in floor 4 of Transcorp Hilton, and they were dashing out $10,000. I told him I'm not collect the money. Now, after the election, one of these days we were in his house, And we had a lengthy discussion, and he started taking me around the house. And he said, do you know that I have a chapel in my house? I said, wow, you have a chapel here. I said, let me see. He went and showed me the chapel. And in the chapel, he told me that, you know, you are my brother. I said, yes. He said, 5 senators will leave the Senate. He said 5. I said, how did you know? He said, I'm the Senate president. I know 5 senators are leaving. And truth what Akpabio said, 5 of us left.
You had no idea you were one of them.
I was no idea that I was penciled for removal myself. So, when I was in the Senate, I traveled to Kenya on a parliamentary assignment. I spent my own money, about $14,000. I submitted paper for reimbursement. They refused to pay me till this very day. Before I was removed, I already obtained Angolan visa to represent the Senate at the ABBO conference in Angola. The practice has been, even if you're not a senator or a member of House of Representatives, as long as you are enough you are representing the country. In fact, former senators or former members of the House of Reps still represent Nigeria until new people come in and inaugurated. He told me back from the airport, that is Akpabio, my salary for that month, I was moved on the 19th by federal government rule of engagement. After 15th, you'll be paid your full salary. My salary, I was moved on the 19th of October. My salary was not paid for that month on the orders of Akpabio. And let me tell you one worst thing that he did. There are 109 senators. Now 5 of us were removed. 2 left. Mahi left to become Minister for Works. Gaidam left to become Minister for Police Affairs. Now making 7 senators left the National Assembly. Out of the 7 senators who left, Akpabio sent their official cars to their houses. Every senator that was removed from the Senate got their own official vehicles, leaving only Senator ABBO alone. Senator Darlington got his own. The 2 senators from Plateau, the other senator Ohere, the 4 of us removed by the court, they all got their own. And the 2 that left before me, that I screened them to become ministers, because they come for screening and then I screened them as a senator. They also got their own car. They left before me, yet they got their own car, leaving me out of the 116 senators sworn into the 10th assembly. Because I challenged Akpabio, I was the only senator that they refused to give him the car. That is the vindictiveness of somebody called Akpabio.
Well, it sounds very personal, doesn't it? I mean,
of course,
for you, it's pretty much personal. I mean, so this is your payback then, is it?
No. I don't pay back. I am just trying to, I laid a foundation so that I will come to the Natasha issue.
Well, we're going to come to that. We're not there yet. Let's finish with your allegations and your accusations against Mr. Akpabio, because one of them is that you said he's running the Senate like a personal empire.
Yes.
Targeting senators who oppose his views. And you suggest that you're one of them.
Yes.
And you say that, as I said, you yourself have been a victim of those actions.
Definitely.
And this is one of the incidents, or one of the sort of the problems that you're talking about.
Yes, and then let us look at Senator Abdul-Ningi. Senator Abdul-Ningi was the chairman of the Northern Senators Forum, and I was the treasurer of the Northern Senators Forum. So as the treasurer, as a matter of fact, I was slated to become the secretary of the Northern Senators Forum. But because Abdul-Ningi and Senator ABBO, we are from the Northeast, and we said, let's take this secretary position to another person from another zone. So I became the treasurer of the Northern Senators Forum. And Abdul-Ningi came out to say, this is not the budget that we passed. And it has been increased by so figures. Before you know, Jack Robinson, Senator Abdul-Ningi was suspended from the Senate for 3 months. And let's look at Senator Ndume. Ndume was the digital Akpabio. When Senator Ndume came out to say things are not run properly here, what happened to him? He was removed as the chief whip of the Senate, stripped of his position as the vice chairman Senate Committee on Appropriation, and then be thrown away. What vindictiveness do you want? And I look at it. The same Akpabio, I moved that motion to amend the rule of the Senate standing rule that will allow only a senator that have served for at least one term of 4 years in the Senate before he go contest for leadership of the Senate. The amendment look Senate president only. The same Akpabio went and brought in first-time senators and made them leadership of both minority and the majority. Right. Just so that he can control them, so that nobody can say anything to him. Do you know that in Senator Akpabio's house, senators serve him tea?
Well, I don't know.
I am telling you now.
But let me just say.
And I am telling you now. And I told him that you are no longer a governor. These senators are your colleagues. We are not your commissioners. So they cannot serve you tea. So
that kind of emphasizes the point where you say that he's running a personal empire.
He's running a personal empire.
But I mean, some might accuse you of speaking ill. I think you even addressed this yourself, of an institution that elevated you to prominence.
No, I did not say that. And what I said in my interview last time was that I had to speak ill of the institution that brought me to national relevance. And what we are doing today, remember last time I was in this studio where I defended the remunerations of the senators. So that I'm speaking good of the Senate. And what we are doing now, all former senators that have been there since the time of Shagari, we are not happy with the level of the integrity of the Senate that have been washed down. So,
right. But we're fast running out of time, so I'm going to gallop ahead. Yes. I mean, you yourself, of course, you're not free of some of this damaging scandal that you talk about. I mean, because you went through a pretty damaging one when you were in the Senate, I mean, didn't you?
Yes.
You were sort of mired in that controversy when you were captured on video, slapping the owner of an adult toy shop.
It's not so.
In Abuja. I'll make the point and then you can refute it. I mean, you turned up there with 3 women to purchase some adult toys, and you were later
the creation of the media.
You were, well, I mean, this is what the story that is circulating is.
Yes.
But you're here, you can refute it if you want to. I mean, you were later found guilty by a court, and you were ordered to pay 50 million naira to the shop owner.
No, let me tell you what happened. What happened was that before I became a senator, a situation happened. Before I became a senator, something happened. And it was a case of people fought. Some ladies fought, not in an adult shop, but rather a candy shop that's separated into 2. Right. At this side, they sell candy for birthdays, the cakes, and the rest of it on one side. On the other side, it was an adult shop for women.
Right.
And I dropped one of my sister with her friend. And when I left, I was told that I received a call that your sister is dead. I said, died? He said, what happened? They said somebody hit her. I thought maybe it was a car that hit her. I said, did the driver stop? They said, the driver did not stop. It's not a driver, it's a person. I rushed back there and I met a lifeless body who fainted there, assaulted by her fellow person. And it's not the owner of the shop. The person also came there and they had an issue. What happened was that they called off the video where the real assault took place on my own sister, and I made a conscious sister lying down, and they brought up where matter escalated.
Where you lost your temper.
Yes.
Right.
And we went to court, tried for criminal assault, which is more dangerous than just paying damages here and there or whatever. And we requested for the original video to know what happened. And the judge found me not guilty. However, there's a pressure on government. They want to continue to be taking money from here and there, and the rest of it. And they said they are suing for damage. What damage? I never appeared in the court. I only heard that there's a case at the Federal High Court where they say they charge me for whatever, so there should be exemplary damage because my name is a senator. I should pay 50 million naira for fighting, and I appealed the case. So the matter was before the magistrate court, and I won the case.
Right. Okay, well, that's what you say. The thing that is in the public domain is slightly different.
No, but
let's move on.
You are hearing from me,
Right.
and you say I'm giving you opportunity chance to clear this, and you are hearing from me.
I understand that.
And not also that they say it's a breastfeeding mother, and these are all lies.
Right.
Do you know that a situation whereby they hired a baby, so that the woman will hold a baby, so she's a breastfeeding mother. They borrowed a neighbor's baby and claimed to be breastfeeding. And when this
it all sounds monstrously complicated, and I mean, we can't sort of get too much into it because, you know, the other side are not here and all the rest of it. But let me just say this. You mentioned that the Senate, let's just return to the Senate president, which is the main focus of this. I mean, you said the Senate president had mishandled the Senator Natasha AKPOTI Uduaghan sexual harassment allegation affair.
Yes.
How so? Briefly, because we're almost out of time.
Now, briefly, in the 8th Senate, I have the video and I can send it to you. Senator Akpabio had a serious verbal exchange with the Senate President Bukola Saraki over change of Senate seat. He was not suspended. He was not investigated. The matter was handled with maturity. In the case of Natasha, it took a different dimension. Sat like the emperor that he claimed he is, and said the woman shall be suspended for 6 months, withdraw her security, stop payment of her salaries, not to be seen to close the National Assembly building, and even her aides should also lose their salaries. Far-reaching decisions. Even ordering the Inspector General of Police not to provide out security in another way, expose and so she will be killed. When you withdraw somebody's security, which is unright, that means you are exposing that person to be killed. And I know the IG, you see the police for all of us, nobody owns the police. The IG realized that that is not a good thing to do, because if they had tomorrow that Natasha is killed, something will happen that we don't pray it happen. Now, if Akpabio was not suspended for fighting with Saraki over change of his seat, why are you suspending Natasha for 6 months if only your motivation is because of change of seat? Secondly, Natasha went to court and she got a court injunction barring the Senate from investigating her until the substantive matter is heard. Senate went against the court judgment and suspended her still, even when there's an existing court judgment. That is contempt of the court. It was after they finished suspending Natasha that they went to court to vacate the court order barring them after contempt of court. And I'm sorry to use this word, cowardly, the judge, instead of arresting Akpabio for contempt of court, he vacated his own judgment that they broke. That's the pressure he was under. And instead for the judge to also go into the substantive matter, he recused himself from the case of Natasha. You see what is happening?
It certainly raises questions. Let me put it that way, as politely as I can. So what is your advice to Senator Natasha Uduaghan now?
Senator Natasha is doing what she's doing. And I heard that they want to call her. Nobody can call Natasha. Take a note and write it down. Nobody can call Natasha. You see, we are not a banana republic. The idea they will recall her and they went and forged signatures, 250 signatures. Let me give you these figures. The registered voters in Kogi Central. Very briefly, we've got about a minute left, unfortunately. The registered voters in Kogi Central is over 500,000 registered voters. Section 69 of the 1999 Constitution said that you must have more than half of registered voters before they recall you. They got 250,000 signatures and submitted to INEC. And the law says that they must have 250,000 plus people who appeared for referendum to return her. Now look at the 2023 election. The voter turnout on the national scale is just 27%. The vote that Natasha got to take her to the Senate is 54,000. Her opponent, closest one, got 52,000. LP, NNPP, and other people, all the votes of 2023, it's just 106,000. That is representing 22.1%, 21.2%. Now, if the whole vote of Kogi Central for PDP, APC, Labour Party, NNPP is just 21%, that is 106,000. Why would they manufacture a 50% vote? That is over 200,000 people to recall Natasha. It's just to keep her busy. They cannot recall her. My advice to her is that she should continue pressing her own and be sincere, be truthful, and stand firm against dictatorship.
Thank you for staying connected, my great and wonderful viewers. You can hear everything that woman actually said. You know, that woman have actually relocated out of Nigeria. You know, after she relocated out of Nigeria, that was when she narrated everything that happened. It was the same issue that made her to run out of Nigeria. You know, this is a kind of woman that is rich, she's well doing all of that, but she just trying everything possible to just extend her coast with her friend. Now they set up a business of real estate and all of that, and in real estate you need a very good marketing strategy and good marketer. So many of these marketers are occupying high positions as far as Nigeria is concerned. They are sitting in high ranking positions, and before you can attain them, you need to have some level of connection. So this woman narrated everything. She said she have the connection and all of that, but she met some people in the marketing realm and marketing scheme or all of that, or the real estate, and the moment she met them, she was trying everything possible that they can negotiate and come up with a deal that they should be helping her to be marketing her properties and all of that. And the moment they're marketing it, these people agreed to be collecting 20% commission. And I said that 20% commission is not enough. They wanted her to be giving them her body. But this woman is a kind of decent person. According to what she said, you can hear everything that she said very well. She said she will always dress decently because she already know the kind of men that we have in Nigeria. Not all, but good number of men in Nigeria, including married men, they know how to flirt around, sleep around with small ladies or anyhow, you know, they sleep around with married women. Also, a lot of things is happening in the space of Nigeria. You know, this woman, when she go to their office, she dressed very well. Upon the fact that she's dressing very well, based on the fact that she's a beautiful woman, they still want to take advantage of her. Even for the fact that they want to be collecting 20% on each properties that they're selling and all of that, they want to be sleeping with her. That's what this woman said. And this woman made it known to the general public according to everything that she said. She said she never allowed them to touch her just because she's decent, and by so doing they try to use call to disturb her. They disturb her with call so that she can just take into what they said and all of that, so that she can start sleeping with them. But according to what the woman said, she said she stopped a lot of deal. So obviously now, before you can actually attain some heights as far as Nigeria is concerned, they need to see your pants. Many of these men in high ranking positions, according to what the woman said, they need to see your pants before they can do you a favor. If it is a man that they want to do the favor to, that one should forget it. He will not see favor from them. But if it's a woman, they believe that the woman have what it takes to pay them back. The money that they're collecting as commission from the real estate thing is not even the issue. They said they can even go without collecting the money, but they want to collect the pant aspect of it. They want to see the pant of all these ladies. So the woman narrated how deal, and she related it to everything that Natasha is saying. She said everything that Natasha is saying is true, that a lot of things like that is actually happening as far as Nigeria is concerned, that you will not even have an evidence. But Natasha is saying that she have documented evidence with his legal practitioners and all of that. Yes, but this woman is saying that in most cases you may not even have an evidence in most cases, because once you are entering this people's office, there is a particular place you will enter. They will ask you to drop your phone, they will ask you to drop your earpods, they will ask you to drop your headset, every gadget on you, you need to drop everything, and they will scan you. They will ensure that you don't have any gadget on you before you enter the office of their boss. And it is in the office of their boss that you will be hearing all this kind of sexual harassment and all of that, because they know that you don't have any means to record them. They know that there's no way you can keep evidence, and that is why these men are doing everything possible to spoil the life of a lot of ladies as far as Nigeria is concerned. Obviously, I'm not really saying that Akpabio did what Natasha actually accused him of, but a lot of people are saying that Akpabio is capable of doing it, and a lot of people balance the equation. They think critically. They said for a lady to have come out before right from time to accuse Akpabio of this same act, that shows that for another lady to come out, that shows that this thing is not really a joke, that Akpabio is really doing it, but everything is alleged. That is their own opinion. It is until Natasha release an evidence, because that's what a lot of people are actually waiting for. That's what a lot of media houses are waiting for, and that's what a lot of media platforms are waiting for. If Natasha should release an evidence, even if it's a pictorial evidence, she should release it. Even if it's a video evidence, that will be even better. Even if it's an audio evidence, she should release one. If Natasha can actually release one, everywhere we pause, Nigeria will scatter. Everywhere we boy, a lot of people will get to know that a lot of things is happening to ladies, even housewife, as far as Nigeria is concerned. So that's what a lot of people are saying, and including the man that came out to say that Akpabio is capable of doing. That's even a senator. He said that Akpabio is capable of doing it because Akpabio came to meet him in the hotel by 2 a.m. at midnight, or let's say in the morning. That's midnight. Akpabio went to him at midnight in an hotel. Those are what a lot of people are saying, and that's what a senator came out to say. That's not even Natasha. You can see everything that is happening. You can see that things are falling apart as far as Nigeria Senate is concerned. So drop your opinion in the comment section of this video. Feel free to say your mind regarding all this issue, regarding everything that woman said, regarding how they actually tried to assault and all of that based on business and all. Drop your opinion. Feel free to say your mind, as I'm going on there to get another trend for you, and share. Follow me on my social media handles on Facebook at LAJUPOG TV and LAJUPOG Entertainment, on Instagram at LAJUPOG. Guess what, guys? See you in my next video. Bye for now.
I see the hot for my body, I say make I yarn you. Religious gossip plenty day for body. Pastor where they lie on top, he pastor. For LAJUPOG watch TV. Pastor where they back, where? Politician where they do pass me, say. For leader, why you waiting for church?